Âşık Veysel Şatıroğlu, commonly known simply as Âşık Veysel, was a Turkish minstrel and highly regarded poet of the Turkish folk literature. He was born in the Sivrialan village of the Şarkışla district, Sivas Province. He was an ashik, poet, songwriter, and a bağlama virtuoso, the prominent representative of the Anatolian ashik tradition in the 20th century. He was blind for most of his lifetime. His songs are usually sad tunes, often dealing with the inevitability of death. However, Veysel used a wide range of themes for his lyrics, based on morals, values, and constant questioning on issues such as love, care, beliefs, and how he saw the world as a blind man. Biography. Early life. Smallpox was prevalent throughout the Ottoman region that included Sivas in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. His mother Gulizar and his father Ahmet had already lost two daughters to smallpox before Veysel was born. When Veysel turned 7 in 1901, another smallpox outbreak occurred in Sivas, and Veysel contracted the disease as well. He became blind in his left eye and a cataract developed in his right eye. After an accident, his right eye was blinded as well. His father gave his blind son a bağlama and recited many folk poems to him. Poets of the region also started to drop by Ahmet Şatıroğlu's house as well with their friends. They played instruments and sang songs. Veysel used to listen to them carefully. Veysel, the child bağlama player Veysel devoted himself wholeheartedly to playing bağlama and singing. He was first instructed by his father's friend, Kamasili Ali Aga, who taught him about the works of Pir Sultan Abdal, Karasoğlan, Datli, Ruzati and other great Thalevi poets and ashiks of Anatolia. World War I. And after Veysel was 20 when the First World War started, all of his friends and his brother rushed to the front, yet because of his blindness he was left alone with his bağlama. After the war, he married a woman named Esma who bore him a daughter and a son. The son died 10 days after birth. On February 24, 1921, Veysel's mother died, followed 18 months later by his father. By then Esma had left him and the 6-month-old daughter, running off with a servant from his brother's house. His daughter also died at a young age. 1930s. He met Ahmet Kutsitege, a literature teacher in Sivas High School, who along with his colleagues founded the Association for Preservation of Folk Poets in 1931. On December 5, 1931, they organized the Fest of Folk Poets that lasted for 3 days. Thereupon, a new turning point started in Veysel's life. We can say that having met Ahmet Kutsitege pointed out a new starting for Veysel. Until 1933, Veysel played and sang the poems of Master Ozans. In the 10th anniversary of the Republic, upon the directives of Ahmet Kutsitege, all folk poets wrote poems on the Republic and Mustafa Kemal. Veysel was one of those poets. The first poem of Veysel that came into the daylight was the poem starting with the line "Ataturk is the revival of Turkey." This poem came into daylight only after Veysel left his village. Ali Reza Bey, the mayor of Şarkışla, to which Sivrialan was then affiliated, liked this tale of Veysel very much, and wanted to send the poem to Ankara. Veysel said he himself would like to go and visit the nation's leader Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, and set out for Ankara on foot with his faithful friend Ibrahim. These two pure hearts who started their travel on barefoot under tough winter conditions, arrived in Ankara after having trampled down the roads for 3 months. The Veysel was hosted by his hospitable friends for 45 days in Ankara. Although his aim in traveling to Ankara was to present the letter to Ataturk, it was not possible for him to do so. His mother Gulizar says he felt bitter regret for 2 things in life. First, not having been able to visit the great leader, and second, not being able to join the army. However, his tale was printed in a printing house named Hakimiyeti familia in ULUs, and was published in the newspaper for 3 days. Then, he started to travel around the country and to play and sing everywhere he went to. He was loved, he was respected. Veysel himself tells us about those days as follows: teacher of the village institutes. Upon the establishment of village institutes, with the initiatives of Ahmet Kutsi Tekke, Âşık Veysel worked as a bağlama teacher in the village institutes of Arafiye, Hasanoglan, Siftli, Kastamonu, Yıldızeli, and Akpınar. In these schools, many intellectuals who later scorned Turkey's culture were able to meet the artist and improve the poetic sensibilities. Later life. In 1965, the Turkish National Assembly resolved upon allocating a monthly salary in 500 TRY to Âşık Veysel in return for his contribution to our native language and national solidarity. On March 21, 1973 at 3:30 a.m., Veysel closed his eyes to this world in Sivrialan, the village he was born in a house that now serves as a museum. In 2000, a compilation album was released called Âşık Veysel Klasikleri. In 2008, Joe Satriani's album Professor Saçafunkalis and the Mysterion of Rock included Âşık Veysel and Andalusia that were dedicated to Âşık Veysel. In 2008, Âşık Veysel's song Uzun Yoldaşım was edited, a bit of a remixed version, to be a theme song for a Turkish film series. Geçe Gündüz. There is a very successful series, Âşık Veysel's poems Uzun Yoldaşım, translated to English. I Walk on a Long and Narrow Road, is one of Veysel's best-known works and is still popular among fans of Turkish folk music. Selected works: Anlatamam Dedimi, Ararasım Seni Gülilin, Ataturk Hacet, Beni Horgormi, Bir İskanlak Dünyu, Berkökte Uzamis, Birlik Destani, Sisikala, Kamla Alım Senindiye, Dedimi Dokursum Derindrai, Dust Seviamus Yüzün Ubenden, Dust Yolanda, Dostla Beni Hatiyalisin, Dun Geçer Ezijind, Dunya Yücel Memd Maksat, Esti Bahayeli, Gel Asik. Gonka Gulin Kokuzuna, Gonlal Sana Nasiatim, Goziazi Armagan, Gozalijanon Para Etmes, Karpe Felek, Kara Toprik, Kiziliamik Seni, Kukuk Dunyam, Murit, Neotazan Dadli, Nesip, Sazim, Sayan Vaktant, Sikizan Chiayan Yami Ikisi, Sen Varsin, Sujiniz Danyaya, Uzun Yoldaşım, Jaz Gelsin, Yıldız.